steps as we did for the carnation. So I'm going to fold this in half like a hot dog, and in half like a hamburger, and then just cut or rip on those folds so that you have 4 pretty even sized pieces. So it's up to you how you do it. It's a lot faster for me to just rip it. So I have 4 separate pieces. And started the next step, which is making these into squares by making your short end align with the long end and cutting off that extra. Just to save time, I'm going to stack these and then just cut them all along that line. However you want to do it is up to you. But in order to make 4 squares, I'll cut along that triangle, and then I'll continue to cut to fold my triangles. I'm going to fold that. So after you rip your rectangles, cut them into squares, and then fold them all into triangles. Attention. So again, remember, wherever I fold it, I'm going to put my finger on the fold. Fold that in half. My finger is still on the fold, so I want to fold it from that point again. So I'm folding it twice, and then I'm going to draw where that point is, where the folded point. So if I unfold, notice it's always being folded at this point. That is the bottom of my heart. I'm going to make this into a heart, and you can cut that and do that to all 4 of them. So I'll review. I will cut. I'll fold it again one more time on this video, and then I'll stop and let you guys go to town. So again, here is my folded side in the middle. I'm going to fold it. Where my finger is on that point, I'm going to fold on that point again. So wherever that point, the pointed fold, is the bottom of my heart, make a heart shape. Do that 4 times. We have our 4 like flower shapes. Don't write on them. I just wrote on them to make it easier for you to understand. Look on the board. I drew out 1 heart. I'm going to cut out 1 heart. So you're going to cut out 1 heart. You don't need to write it because that might mess up your flower. Then on a second one, I'm cutting out 2 hearts. 1, 2. So again, you don't need to draw it, just cut it. Save all your pieces. So I cut out 2. On the next one, I cut out 1, 2, 3 hearts. So you're essentially cutting on the fold. And then on the last one, I'm cutting out 4, which is just cutting it in half. So go ahead and cut all those pieces. Let me kind of separate it for you. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4. With the one that I just cut 1 out, and I gave you all glue and a little Q-tip. I want to glue the inside of 1 on the side. So if you guys are watching, I'm gluing the heart, the one that's next to the cut. And then what I'm going to do, just watch, I'm going to overlap. So this back side's going to glue to that front side. And that starts to make my first petal. On the video I watched, they cut a hole here. You don't have to, but I'm going to. I don't really know. I think the hole just makes it easier for stuff to kind of fit in. And leave it at that. I can now move on to the one that I cut out 2. If you look on the board, I cut out 2 from that one, so I'm going to grab this and do the same thing. I'm going to put glue on 1 of the flower heart petals, and then bring the one on the other side of the opening. That back is going to glue on top of the front there, like that. And again, I'm going to cut the point like that. So this is the one that had 1 cut out. This is the one that has 2 cut out. If I continue, this one is the one that had 3 cut out, right? So I'm going to take the one that had 3 pieces and repeat that. So I'm doing that for all 4 of them. So this heart is going to overlap that heart. Notice how the cones are getting smaller. And I'm going to snip the end. And then the last one is the one that I cut 4 out of. Same thing. I'm going to glue 1 heart, overlap. This is where I need to really kind of fold them on top of each other. And then cut that in there. So in the end, I have 4 cones where I glued the hearts. 1, 2, 3, 4. You guys can see that okay. My scraps, when I cut 1, 2 hearts, and 3 hearts, when I glue these, look on the board, when I glue these, I'm not going to glue the entire heart. I'm going to glue half of the heart. So half of the heart and continue. So these are getting really super small. And don't forget to cut the point so that they can fit inside of each other.
I thought we weren't cutting.
You can't, well, I did and I didn't on 2 different ones, and I don't know if it matters. But yours are really small, so it might be beneficial. So this time you're gluing only half of the heart. Oops. So you're almost like rolling the paper really onto itself. And then one is just the edge. The single heart, I would literally just glue the outer side, not even half the heart, and you're rolling it like a little party favor. So that the one heart is obviously the inside of your rose, like that.
I'm confused.
Or essentially your curling iron. What you want to do is take every curl or heart, and actually what I did on mine is I actually cut into the fold a little bit to make the hearts a little bit deeper because it makes the curling easier. So what I can do is curl these back. So watch, I'm rolling the paper off the end, and when I remove it, I get that little flower petal curl. You'll get a better curl if you cut the edges. So if you look at this one, see how these are all, each of these petals are curled? So it makes better for a curled flower. So when you're done curling all of these, what you want to do is add a little bit of glue on the inside of your largest one, and then just place that one in there, but instead of stacking it, oops, you guys can't see, stack it, try to rotate it so they're alternating. So I'm just going to glue this first just so that you guys can see the finishing steps. I'm going to put glue on the inside there and take the next size, glue on the inside, and then you can go ahead and cut some of your petals and start curling it with the chopstick. The video I saw, you could use a pencil if you have larger, obviously the larger your petals are. I might even, when they get really small, I'm just going to dip this in there because I don't want to shove my Q-tip in there. I don't want it to be too glued. And then like this. And then I'm going to go ahead and start curling my petals. Voila. So this is the before, and that's the after.